Good evening. Welcome to Current Affairs. So let's discuss today's issues. First, I would like to talk to you with respect to the Supreme Court. Today, Supreme Court made it very, very clear that only the transgender community should be recognized as a third gender. But otherwise, there is a demand that LGBT community, meaning lesbians, gays, bisexual, and transgenders, everybody should be treated as the third gender. But in a historical judgment in the year 2014, Supreme Court made it very, very clear that all categories, maybe lesbian, gay, and bisexual, they should not be considered as third gender category. So later, what happened? Because of the pressure from the so-called various corners, the central government has challenged the judgment of the Supreme Court in the Supreme Court. Today, once again, Supreme Court has clarified very clearly that transgender, only the people of transgender, they should be recognized as a third category. Meaning is simple: lesbian, gay, and bisexual people, they will not be considered as transgenders. And apart from this, I also have some information I would like to share that with you. Varunastra. So Varunastra, this is an indigenously built heavyweight anti-submarine torpedo. This is called Varunastra, and this has been inducted into Indian Navy today. It has been inducted into Indian Navy. So in the examination, they will ask you, what is Varunastra? So this is indigenously built heavyweight anti-submarine torpedo, right? And of course, I'll show you the document with respect to that after some time. But otherwise, what happened? There is a missile called Barak 8 missile, and that has been developed by India in association with Israel. In association with Israel, that has been developed, and this is a new surface to air missiles. It's a medium range. It's a medium range surface to air missile. That is the reason it is called MR, medium range. SAM. SAM stands for surface to air missile. So, meaning is simple. This is considered to be one of the very, very important aspects with respect to Indian security system is concerned. First, I'll open the document and I'll show you some points with respect to this. Then we'll go ahead. First, we'll be talking about Varunastra. This is indigenously built heavyweight anti-submarine torpedo. Varunastra has been successfully inducted into Indian Navy. Now, I would like to tell you what is the meaning of the torpedo. Torpedo means it is a self-propelled weapon with an explosive warhead. So this can travel, this can move in the direction of the above the surface of the water and below the surface of the waters, right? And this has made India one of the 8 countries to have the capability to design and build such a system. Rest of the points, you can have a look at on the screen. Its weight is 1.25 tons and it has the capacity to carry 250 kg of explosives, and it travels at a speed of 40 nautical miles per hour. And you must be knowing this. 1 nautical mile is equal to 1.852 kilometers. And for each one to make it, for each unit, the cost will be 10 to 12 crores. 10 to 12 crores. So, but the only thing is that the only little concern, India took 11 years for the completion of this one, right? But otherwise the idea is that the authorities are saying, so whatever the missiles or other weapons we are developing, so we have to develop at the earliest. Since India has the technology now, India has the capacity to develop all this, so at the earliest, right? So now, once again, have a look at this I'm opening the document once again. Look at this. So this is developed by Naval Science and Technological Laboratory. It's a premier laboratory of DRDO. So the electric torpedo was formally handed over to Indian Navy, and the induction is said to be a game changer boost for it. And another most beautiful thing is that because we have already developed this, India has an opportunity to export the same thing to other countries. Is it okay? And it is capable of targeting quiet and stealthy submarines both in the deep waters and littoral waters in intense countermeasure environments. So this is the most beautiful thing. So this can be uh, targeted both in the deep waters and also the littoral waters. And see here, recently it happened, and um, the present chief of naval staff is Admiral Sunil Lamba, right? So very recently, the change of guard took place. I spoke to you with respect to this point in one of the previous classes, and name is important. This is Sunil Lamba. And with respect to Varunastra, it has a GPS based locating aid, a unique feature in the contemporary torpedoes in the world. Not just India, so many other countries. Before India, seven other countries have got this type of weapons. And today, India became the eighth country in the world. So, another important point with respect to the working woman, it's a good news for the working woman, especially in the government sector. There is a concept called maternity leave, and this maternity leave is there for 12 weeks. 12 weeks, and for quite long period of time, women are complaining that this 12-week period is considered to be a very very short period. So there is a demand for increasing this. And sometime back I was discussing with you. So the government has discussed this particular aspect, and the government also decided to go for the so-called increasing this 12-week period to the so-called 26 weeks. Clear? I was talking about this. The decision has already been taken during that time, right? And now the government is serious. Very soon it is going to be increased from 12 weeks to 26 weeks. Very, very important. So this is a very quite comfortable time for the woman. After delivery, they can spend the time with the baby. And the most important thing is that just born baby, the infant, the most important food is the mother milk. Mother milk. So this is one biggest advantage, so that mother milk will be giving the protection to the baby, and baby can be protected from various types of diseases. Most beautiful thing. And it is going to be increased from 12 weeks to 26 weeks. Clear? Then what about the private sectors? In private sector, the rules are different. That's the reason why the women in the private sector also protested. And this particular move, the change in the law, is applicable for the women in the government sector and also in the private sector. Both are going to be benefited. Right? Now, kindly have a look at this maternity leave. This will be increased from 12 to 26 weeks, and this will be applicable for women in the private sector too. Next is the 24 by 7. Look at this 24 by 7 into 365. Always open. What is this? The central government has cleared a model law that would allow cinema halls, restaurants, malls, shops, banks, and other such workplaces to be open around the clock. Round the clock. Now, I'm just leaving this to you to think over on this, whether it is good or bad. right? And what about the security during the night time? Maybe this when it comes to the productivity, the quality, some fear is that the quality may be reduced. For example, if you look at some of the people, of course, inevitable for them, and they work during the night shifts. Security is arranged, cabs are arranged for them. But when it comes to the quality of the life, so they are suffering from certain health hazards. So this is happening because of the odd timings of the work. So throughout the night they will work, and morning they will come and they will sleep during the daytime. And after a period of time, again the shift will change. They are forced to work during the daytime. So, and obviously, what happens, that will be having the direct effect on the health. Clear? And this is an idea that is being proposed, and it is going to be accepted. So that what will happen? So everything will be available around the clock. But when it comes to the women employees, enough security has to be provided by them, provided by the so-called the shop owners, mall owners, restaurant owners. Clear? And you can think what are the advantages and disadvantages with respect to this. Next, next one, I'm opening the document once again. Please have a look at this. Look at this. Now, so here, Barak 8 missile. This is a medium range surface to air missile. Surface to air missile. India on June 30th, that is today only in the morning, June 30th, 2016, successfully testified a new surface to air missile. Right? So I've written both. I'm just removing this. Today successfully testified a new surface to air missile, and it is developed jointly with Israel. And it has been launched successfully this morning from Chandipur, that is in Odisha. Am I clear? Next thing, the last thing I would like to talk to you is with respect to the so-called the transgender. So this is one very, very important issue. For quite long period of time, there is a demand. For example, see here, you look at any application form, you have a column called sex, where you need to tick either M or F, either male or female. But apart from this, there are some other categories, like LGBT community. L stands for lesbians, G stands for gay, B stands for bisexual, and T stands for transgender. So, so meaning is simple. Lesbian means it is an attraction between the two men. Gay means attraction between two men. Bisexual means attraction towards both male and females. And when it comes to the transgender, this is not the assigned sex. This is not the assigned sex. What do you mean by assigned sex? Assigned sex is nothing but the sex that has been decided when the child takes birth. So immediately after the birth, it will be decided whether this is male or female. But over a period of time, because of the various reasons, so they will go for the medical treatment, medical surgery takes place, and the sex will be transformed. They are called transgenders. They are called transgender. Hope you got it now. And for quite long period of time, this LGBT, all the four categories, they are demanding for a third category of sex, that is called the third category, right? Either male, female, or third category. And in the year 2014, the Supreme Court has given historical verdict saying that only transgender should be designated for the third category, and lesbians, gay, and bisexual will not be covered under this. Meaning, what is the definition of the third category has been given by the so-called the Supreme Court. But the government is under pressure from various communities. and the government requested, it has challenged the decision of the Supreme Court in the Supreme Court itself. And today Supreme Court once again made it very very clear that only transgender people should be recognized as third category, and lesbian, gay and bisexual will not be covered under this. Am I clear? Very, 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 very important. This is a issue. This is an issue which is going on in India for quite long period of time. So one of the very, very big social issues. Okay, even in the previous classes also, I was talking to you with respect to the section 377 of Indian Penal Code (IPC). What High Court of Delhi said, what Supreme Court said, we have discussed elaborately. So even today also that is still going on, but this is the latest one with respect to LGBT. Kindly remember, only T, that transgender people will be recognized as third category. Again, it has been reiterated by the Supreme Court today, meaning it's a defeat for the government in the Supreme Court. Right now, I'll just open the document for your information. Please have a look at this. Look at this. In a landmark judgment of 2014, the Supreme Court recognized transgender people as the third genders. It is the right of every human being to choose their gender. The verdict, which does not apply to gays, lesbians, or bisexuals, directed central and state government to add a third gender column in all identity documents, such as birth certificates, passports, and driving licenses. So this is the direction that has been given by Supreme Court in the year 2014, and today again, it has been reiterated by the Honorable Supreme Court. Am I clear? And thank you so much for being with me this evening, and I'll see you tomorrow with some more news. I'll take up an issue tomorrow, and we'll have a detailed discussion. I wish you all the very, very best. Good night.